Okay, I recorded this video twice already and I just am not liking how it comes out. Apparently I'm just not a very perky personality and I'm not very exciting to watch on camera. I don't know, but every time I go to edit it, I'm like, I'm bored. Like, can we have some fun around here? So I'm gonna try to talk with a much more perky, happy personality, but I guess that's just not me. So here goes nothing. I have decided to create this YouTube account and this video specifically talking about House of Wax and how it came about. If you don't know who I am, not that I'm like a super celebrity popular or anything like that, but I am the CEO and owner of House of Wax Corporation, which has two branches currently. We have our Rancho location, which is House of Wax, which solely deals with waxing only, and then we have our Fontana location, which is House of Nails, and we do nails and waxing there. A lot of people don't realize that we also do waxing there. We do waxing there. So if you are closer to Fontana, please visit our Fontana location for your waxing necessities. Anyways, I always get asked every time I am waxing clients or I'm talking to people about owning House of Wax, I always get asked my story, and every time I tell my story, people are like, wow, that's so inspiring and you should really tell your story on like a platform. So here we are telling my story. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm just gonna jump right in and tell you exactly how House of Wax came about. I'm gonna start off with letting you know that I was a makeup artist first and I was not interested in doing waxing at all. So it's crazy how life catches up. Currently now I own the location with my sister, and then we could not do any of this without our lovely mother, but I will get into this whole story and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So House of Wax, where do I start this story? Okay, so I went to makeup school, became a makeup artist. It was fun. Not fun enough, I guess. I don't know. Didn't love the hours. Wasn't making the money that I needed to be making. Thought there was something out there that was more my path. So, I've always been in love with skincare. I've always had a love for skincare because I have had terrible skin in the past. Not that my skin is the greatest now, but it is better. And so I've just been obsessed with looking at products and ingredients and all of that good stuff. And my mom was actually the one who pushed me to go to esthetician school. So went to esthetician school, had a blast, still was into facials and skincare and was not into waxing at all. I was like, I am not going to be waxing people, hurting people. Like, that was my mentality. I was like, I do not want to hurt anybody. Like, that's not for me. Got out of school, long story short, could not find any jobs that wanted me, okay? They were just like, you, not our vibe. I don't know. So I was like, fine, I guess I just see all these waxing jobs available. So I started applying for waxing jobs and I got a waxing job. And they trained me and I actually fell in love with it, which was really crazy. I moved up in the company pretty fast. I was at one location, transferred to another, became a trainer, all that good stuff. Once I got to that trainer position, I kind of felt like there's really no moving up for me from here. I didn't know how to get into the corporate side of things, and I'm a really quiet person, so if you don't bring these opportunities to me, sometimes I'm not like that, like, I don't know, bulldog personality where I go out and get it. That's where my mom comes into play. She is the bulldog. She is our bulldog personality and she will get shit done. So without her, I don't think we would be here. But then again, without me, I don't think we would be here. We all need each other to be where we're at right now. So I went to, like I said, got that job, moved up, didn't feel like I could move up anymore. At the time, there was this new thing called solo salon suites, and like it was kind of not as popular as it is today. Like, a lot of people know about it today. Back then, didn't really know what was going on. It was like, I don't know, 2013 or something. No, 2014. Had to be 2014. So we were in 2014, decided I'm gonna just go get a suite. This came came up like so randomly. Okay, I was in the position at work and I just felt like, well, one, I was making the same amount as all the other waxers, but I was also the trainer. So I had brought this to my manager and kind of asked for a raise, but again, I'm not like that bulldog personality. So I got denied the raise, and I just kind of left it at that. I was like, okay, like I get it, whatever. Although I didn't really get it, obviously. So then I was like, cool, we are going to, there's got to be more in life than just this, you know? And I had expressed things to my mom here and there, and she had always known that I wanted to kind of do my own thing. So one day she was off, I was off, and she was like, let's just go look at some places, let's go look around, let's do some research. So we researched online. She was talking about this thing called Sola, Salon Suite. So we had called a couple places for the different Solas, but nothing was available. They didn't really have anything. We were like, okay, like maybe that's still an option down the line, whatever. And we came across this one place called Couture Salon Suites, and I don't think they're around anymore, but they were in Upland at the time. And my mom had called over there, and the lady was like, yes, come through, I will show you, you know, I'll show you around and everything. We went there, she showed us around, loved it, signed a lease that day. I was like, girl, you haven't even quit your job yet, like, what the heck. But like, I just felt like this was it, this was the thing for me, like I need to be doing this. So I had to go back to work, put in my 2 weeks. Guys, put in your damn 2 weeks. I don't know what this new generation, they don't put in 2 weeks now. Put in 2 weeks, like it's crazy. Anyways, I put in my 2 weeks. I left on pretty good terms there. I mean, obviously they were a little bit irritated that I was going to go off and do my own thing, which is very normal, like I get it, but you know, life goes on. So I went, did that. At that same time, I was also coaching volleyball. I didn't have a huge clientele. It was just very like here and there. So I was booking people, and then I was doing my volleyball coaching. I also opened a club at this time, and I was really focusing on like volleyball, but still trying to create something over here. So volleyball was a little bit more of my income, and then the shop was like the little side money that I used for like gas and food and things like that. I didn't really have much going on. I was living with my parents at the time, so I didn't need much. I only had a car payment at the time, and I lived with my parents, so for the most part everything was paid for me. Life was pretty good, easy, chill, but still there was just something in me that was like, this is not enough. This is not what, like, this is not my end goal. This is cool, but it's not serious enough for me, you know? So I was like, let's go big or go home. I want to open a shop. So I kept telling my mom, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And I feel like my mom is kind of that, the person that I use to like bounce off my ideas and see how she reacts. And if she reacts good, then I'm like, okay, I think we're in the zone. And if she reacts bad, I'm like, I start questioning my decision, like, okay, should I not? Don't get me wrong, I don't go based off of everything my mother says. Like, we bump heads here and there, just like on things that we don't disagree with, but she's never led me in the wrong direction. She always keeps me on a very good path, so I really trust her instincts. So I bounced this off my mom. She's like, okay, Crystal, you want to do it? You need to go and make a business plan and do this and that. So I'm like reading books, I'm Googling, I'm starting to write a business plan. Never went to business school a day in my life, never did any of that. Literally, I'm just like, I'm gonna open a business. So I'm trying to write up this business plan. I'm confused as all hell. I'm like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Am I even doing this right? I'm gonna take this to the bank. They're gonna laugh in my face. Like, girl, no. Fast forward maybe a month or two, and my mom comes home and she's like, I'm taking out my 401k and we're gonna open a business. And I'm like, what? So that is literally how House of Wax came about. So prior to House of Wax, the little studio that I was working in was Crystal Rock Salon Spa. It was supposed to be me and my sister, which my sister did start off with me for a little bit. She was doing nails, and then she got pregnant, and that income wasn't enough to sustain her life, so she had to go off and get another job. And we always thought we were going to do something together, but then it kind of came to where like I was kind of doing my own thing without her, and then she came and met up with me later, and now here we are. So yes, in 2016 I opened House of Wax in Rancho Cucamonga. I found some random like real estate agent guy or whatever that like rented commercial real estate and stuff, and I had him take me around. Took me to this location. He took me to a couple different locations. I wasn't really in love with any of them. He took me to this specific one and I was sold. I was like, please let us get this. I love it. It was just this small location. I think it might have been like anywhere from like 700 and 900 square feet. It was very small. It was right next to Starbucks. Like, not right next to it, but Starbucks was like in the same parking lot. And I was like, this is like perfect. Like, everyone goes to Starbucks, right? Like, who doesn't know Starbucks? So that's like the perfect, like, this is my perfect starting ground, right? I get this place and it totally was. So I worked in there by myself, and don't get me wrong, for the first, I don't know, maybe year or maybe 6 months, I don't know. It was so slow. I barely seen any clients. I would have like 1 to 2 clients a day, and like I just lied my way through it. People were like, oh, how's the business going? How are you doing? And I'm like, I am thriving. I have people coming in and out of here all day. Meanwhile, me and my girls are literally like the girls that I hired as coordinators, the front desk, reception area. We're literally watching movies all day, like sitting around doing nothing, and they're literally getting paid to watch shows all day and hang out with me, basically. And then after that, like, just, you know, talking to the clients and building relationships with clients, and then they started spreading the word, and then people started coming in, and then we started seeing more and more people, and it was great. And then I was to a point where like, okay, now I kind of like, I can't do this all by myself forever, like I need to hire somebody else. We had 3 rooms, but I was only working out of 1 room because it was obviously just me. And it was impossible for me to hire people because at that time I was doing 30% commission, and people hadn't like done that before. They hadn't done the whole commission thing before. So people were very used to getting an hourly wage with a very small commission, like 5-10%. And I was offering 30% commission, and people were just like, no, I don't know about that. I don't know. And then one day my sister called me up. She was doing nails at a place called Bedazzle, and she was like, hey, I just met this girl. She used to work at the company that we used to work for. She was waxing over there, and she's down to come over and start working for us. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, this is amazing. So I bring her on. We're working together. Just from bringing her on, word got out. One of the other girls that knew her, that also knew me, came over, started working for me, and then from there she you know, it just started spreading, and a bunch of girls just started coming over, and we were thriving. 2018, I'd say, or 2017, somewhere around there, 2017, 2018, we were doing pretty good. It wasn't our greatest year. 2019, that was the greatest year, but we were doing really good. It was our greatest year for what we had seen so far. We didn't know what was coming, but at that time we were doing really good, and we were like, we are doing so good. It is time to open another location, and it's time to bring my sister back to working with us. So let's open a nail salon that has waxing. And then it was like this whole family discussion. Should it be called House of Wax? Should it be called House of Nails? We don't know. Can't figure it out. It's still a battle till this day. Everyone's like, I was right, it should have been House of Wax, or like, no, I see why it's House of Nails, or whatever. I was very in the middle. My mom was for House of Wax. My sister was for House of Nails. I think even my dad was for House of Wax, and I was torn. I was in the middle. I was like, I can understand why we want it to be House of Wax, because House of Wax is already an established place, but at the same time, House of Nails, I feel like, would bring in more clientele because more people in general get their nails done, and I feel like not as many people get waxing. Now, don't get me wrong, waxing is very popular, and there's a lot of people that get waxing done, but because nails, I just feel like nails is just a thing that all women do, so I was like, maybe it should be House of Nails, but I get it, House of Wax, we should keep it. I don't know. I was torn. Didn't know what to do. My sister won. We went with House of Nails, and that was that. Let me tell you, I still don't know till this day what the best decision is for the name. House of Nails does generate so many more people calling in, but we had a problem staffing our nail techs, and then we can't really get business, and we're not getting a lot of business for waxing because people don't know that we do waxing there. So it's been kind of, it's been crazy, but again, it's still brand new. It's like our little baby. So we shall see as the time goes by, and that is the reason that I'm creating this whole YouTube account in the first place, is for you to just follow along with life and see how it goes for us, because obviously we have no idea. But getting back into the whole story of House of Nails, we signed a lease in like 2018 or 2017, somewhere around there. We signed a lease for this place in Fontana, and with all the winds and everything that goes on in Fontana, the construction kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Come 2019, we are thriving. Things are going phenomenal. We are like, we need this second location to hurry up and open. Like, we have people who want to come work for us. We have all these clients. We have space to, we need like the space to grow. And then, I don't know, the gods were listening to my prayers, and the tenants right next to us had been renting two buildings, basically. I don't know how to explain. But they downsized, so they started only renting out one, and then one was available, and that one was right next to that one that we had. So we started talking. Should we do it? Should we rent it? I know we have this other place in Fontana, but we could really use it right now. Like, people are waiting. We literally had people waiting to come over to work for us because we did not have space for them to work, and then we're turning clients away. So we were like, you know what? We don't have time. What if the construction gets pushed back even more? Let's just go for it. So we did. We leased that place. We knocked the wall down and created 2 more rooms at our Rancho location, so a total of 5 rooms. We brought over the girls that were waiting to come in, and we just started working, and we said, hey, we know we originally hired you for our Fontana location, but we don't know when that's coming about, so you're gonna work here until we open the Fontana location. And then, what was it, November of 2019 is when we opened the Fontana location. I can't remember the month. I think it might have been in like July or something, when we tore down the other side to create 2 different, or to have the 5 rooms. But yeah, November 2019 we opened the Fontana location, and it was so hard to staff nail techs. No one like wanted to come over and work for us, but I guess that was the same problem that we had in the beginning for our Rancho location. So I mean, I should have expected that, right? It's just, like, I don't know, it was very uncommon to find people. Then finally we got to a point where we staffed all the nail tech stations were filled, and we had our grand opening in February of 2020, and it was off the chain. It was great. We did it with the barbershop that's right next to us. We had so many people come in and support, and it was just a lot of fun. We had a DJ and tacos and all the good stuff. And then March 2020 hits, and COVID. Just lovely little old COVID came around and screwed up literally everything. People's personalities started changing, you know, just because everyone was on different sides of the spectrum. You had people who genuinely believe that COVID is a thing, and people who genuinely believe that COVID is political, and then you have people in the middle, and you didn't know what to think, what to do, how to go through the whole situation. You have the government saying that you have to close down, and then people are staying open, and you're like, should I stay open? Do these people need money? And then unemployment comes in and pays people more than what they even make at work, and then you're like, okay, well, I can't compete with that. And it was a whole cycle. It was crazy, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, at one moment we were thriving, and then the next moment, like, our head is in the gutters. Just like, throw your hands up and just like do what you can to make it. I'm watching businesses close down, and I'm just like, is that gonna be me? I'm sitting here crying to my family, like, I don't know if I even want to do this anymore. This is so difficult. And then it's like, but you have a 5-year lease with these places. Like, you have to figure it out. You have to keep going. And it was rough. And I'd say it's been rough up until about right now. We are finally at a place where we're kind of cruising, and I hope we stay this way or just like start going up, whichever of the two. I just don't want to go back down, please. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster ride. We've done and changed so many things, and it starts to make you realize. I've worked for companies in the past where I'm like, why do they do things like that? Why is this like that? Why is that like that? And then when you become a business owner on the other side, you're like, oh, that's why they do stuff like that. Oh, now I get it. Oh, it's just inevitable that things start to change, and that's just life, right? So that is my little story about how House of Wax came about. I am going to create more content, more videos and things just about things that have happened to us, or I don't know, whatever I can really think of to kind of keep you guys in the loop and let you guys know how we're doing, how it's going, follow along in the life of House. Anyways, I don't really know how to end this, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like because it supports the channel. And girl, guy, whoever is watching, come on, help a sister out. Subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps support your girl over here, okay? I hope this turned out a lot better than any of my other attempts at this video. And I will see you in the next one, whatever that happens to be. Peace out.